Hey guys, this is a Dabi ex-listener. I hope you enjoy. This is requested. Actually, sorry for a person that requested this. It took me a lot of time to do because I'm sorry, I had a lot of requests. So here it is. I hope you enjoy. And yeah, enjoy the video. Being a superhero is stressful, mostly when you don't consist the help of your family, friends, or anyone. You and your family haven't spoke since you became a pro hero because you were afraid people will hurt them. And your friends were also other pro heroes, so basically they're always busy. And you spend most time by yourself. But you really didn't mind this. Being a pro hero was your dream job, and you were accomplishing it better than ever. You were right now in the position number 6 in the top 10 hero rankings. In your close circle of friends were Hawks, Miss Joke, and Midnight. You interacted well with them, but rarely see them since Hawks had a new mission you didn't know about. Midnight was busy being a teacher, and same as Joke. It was getting pretty late, and you were the only one left in your office, or your psychics and workers are already left, and you were there trying to solve a case. You were put in charge of tracking down the League of Villains, same as another heroes that you didn't know. But all of you had been put on a mission to track them down and try to get most information as you could. So basically, most of your nights consist of this, staying late hours at the office, investigating and researching. You only had a clue about this named Gertoga Himiko, but nothing more. You were starting to get really frustrated. And when you saw the window, you noticed it was raining pretty badly. And you needed to go back to home, but you didn't bring your car today and you didn't have an umbrella. You sighed and thought to yourself, guess I'll need to walk in the rain today. What a pain. Oh my god. You stood up and started collecting your things. You were tired for the night and couldn't concentrate anymore. After grabbing all your stuff, you headed to the entrance of your office and started working. It was raining kind of badly, but not that bad for you not to be able to see anything or walk. You were getting pretty close to your apartment building when someone put you into an alleyway. You tried to fight back, but a stranger kissed you. You didn't kiss back. You tried to pull him away, but he was strong, surprisingly, and he made you swallow a pill. You didn't know what the stranger made you swallow, but it made you sleepy. When you fell asleep, the person looked down on you and chuckled and said, "Oh, you're an easy one to knock out. Didn't expect that from the number 6 hero. Yuan." He carried you back to an old building. You were the whole time unconscious. He tied you down on a chair against the wall. Then he looked down at his pocket. His phone was ringing. He answered and said, "Oh, what do you want, Chigaraki? I got the girl." Chigaraki chuckled from the other line and said, "Well, job, Dabi. This will be good. Her quirk is amazing. She will be a great addition to the league." Dabi just rolled his eyes and said, "Okay, calm down, crazy. I have her here. I can go back to the league right now. It's raining too hard and someone may see me. I tied her down in this old building. I'll be back in the morning. Got it?" Chigaraki just sounded annoyed and said, Yeah, whatever. Just bring her back." Then Dabi closed the phone call. He stared at you. He thought you were gorgeous and was actually pretty impressed about you. He wasn't a fan of you or anything, but he thought from all the heroes, you were better, and the form you shut down Endeavor in a hero conference was incredible. Back at an old hero conference, they were interviewing each one of the 10 top heroes. Endeavor, being the number 1 right now, said it was fantastic and that everyone got along. But then your smart personality came in and said, "Well, yeah, we all get along, but Endeavor is too bossy. He won't let me do anything, and especially, he doesn't tolerate Hawks. So I guess we're not a team after all. He's just a solo player and doesn't believe in the rest of the pro heroes and only wants to work by himself. Especially in our last mission, where he let myself get killed. But thanks to my quirk, it didn't happen." All the people in the conference were left speechless, and Endeavor was glaring at you. Dabi that night was watching the hero conference and got surprised by you. He loved your attitude and loved how you shut down Endeavor. It was amazing for him. Back with you where you were right now, tied up, you slowly opened your eyes. You felt a horrible headache. You look up to see an old building, and you saw a man with blue eyes. He was actually beautiful. In other circumstances, you would be impressed, but you couldn't. This guy just kidnapped you. You said, "Who the hell are you?" He just shook and said, "Nothing worry about that, princess. Just, I recommend you to stay calm. That headache you have is not going to end well." You just shook your head and said, "Oh, when I get out of this, you will regret that." He just laughed at your tone, and he said, "Listen to me, doll. You don't want to mess with me. And if you want to mess with me, it will not end up pretty. Got it?" He said that as he walked close to your face. You started blushing and just looked away. He chuckled and looked down at you and continued, "Well, if you really want to know what the pill does, it basically was supposed to knock you out and take away your quirk. You will not have your quirk for about 48 hours more, so you're pretty defenseless, and if you were planning to use your quirk, forget it." You just glared at the stranger and said, "Who the hell are you?" He looked away and said, "Yeah, I guess I haven't introduced myself. I'm Dabi. Nice to meet you, Yuan." You were surprised. Not many people knew your real name. You usually go by your hero name, Time Traveler. Your quirk is supposed to stop time and make you rewind time and get you visions of the future. It was a pretty useful quirk, considering that you could use that in many hostage situations, saving people's lives, visualizing the villain's plans, and much more. You looked back at him and said, "What do you want me for?" He said, "Well, it seems you haven't got it. You have a time quirk, right? That's what we want. Time Traveler, that's not your original hero name. You should try harder." You just shook your head and said, "I chose that in high school. You cannot criticize it." He laughed and said, "That's why I said, all you heroes are so dumb." You wanted to punch the guy in the face, but you couldn't. He said, "In the morning I'll take you to Shigaraki. He wants to talk to you. But right now, just sleep. We cannot go, the rain is too hard, and someone may recognize me. And that will be good for you, but not good for me, sweetheart. So, just sleep." The villain walked up close to a chair and sat down. He then closed his eyes and started falling asleep. You thought you would do the same because there was no way of escaping these restraints without your quirk. You slowly drifted to sleep, and you were totally passed out. A few hours later, you awoke again, but in a different setting. You thought, "This must be the league's base?" When you opened your eyes, you saw 3 people: Dabi, the villain you met yesterday, Shigaraki, and the blonde girl named Toga. Toga was so happy to see another girl in the lake and said, "Oh, another girl, I'm so happy about this." Shigaraki just smirked and said, "Well, Yuan, welcome to the Lake Villains. I was wondering if you wanted to join, because if you don't, well, I just use your quirk in a Nomu. Let's get down to the chase. I don't care that you just woke up." You rolled your eyes and said, "Rude." Dabi just chuckled and said, "Shigaraki, let me get time to convince her. She's not gonna stop just by this. Remember what happened with the Bakugo kid?" Shigaraki just looked disgusted at the memory and said, "Okay, try to convince her. I think we just have to take away her quirk and use it on a Nomu or some shit." Shigaraki stood up and Toga said, "Well, I'm gonna help Krusty with a mission, so you have exactly, I think, 1 hour to convince her. Good luck, Dabi." She left, and you were left alone with the villain again. He sat down on a chair in front of you and got closer to your face, which made you a blushing mess, and said, "Okay, sweetheart, you are blushing way too much. You sure you didn't fall for me yesterday or some shit?" You just looked away and said, "I will never fall for someone like you." He looked a little in discomfort and said, "And why is that?" You looked back at him and got a little closer to his face and said, "Because you're a villain and taking us for a villain. 2, you kidnapped me. 3, I've seen your record, Dabi. I remember I saw your report somewhere. You have killed people. 3rd, I don't know what much things you have done, but I'm not falling for a villain." He stopped you. Dabi was kissing you. He was kissing you again. The memory made you flash of the first time he kissed you, and you tried to pull away, but he was too strong. Even though you didn't have your quirk, you were still pretty strong, but the man in front of you was stronger than you in any way. You were forcefully kissed back, and he enjoyed it. But you just felt disgusted. The reason is, yeah, the man in front of you that was kissing you may be attractive, but he still kidnapped you. He said, looking. Okay, sweetness, you have two options. Or either we take your quirk and put it in a nomu, or you join the league. And when we take your quirk, you will be useless, and Shigaraki will kill you. And your little boyfriend Hawks will not come to save you. He couldn't care less. So, what are you gonna do? You shook your head and said, Hawks is not my boyfriend, he's just my friend, and I haven't talked to him since forever. Dabi chuckled and said, I already know that. I have seen all your moves and all the things you do. I know you were studying the league, and also you haven't seen your friends or family in a long time. Would you like your family to get hurt, Yuan? I will track them down. Even though you don't talk to them, we don't want something to happen to your family, would you? You just look at him and said, Don't you dare do nothing, Dabi. He laughed and said, Well, join the league and nothing bad would happen, Yuan. You just need to join. You shook your head and considered your options. Either join this league of freaks or lose everything that's important to you. You look up at him once more and said, You win, Dabi. I'll join your stupid league. He smiled and said, Well, welcome, John. He untied you, and he said, If you ever dare betray us or be a traitor, I'll kill you, I'll kill Hawks, I'll kill Miracle, I'll kill Midnight, and I'll kill Joke. Understood? He was raining everyone you loved. You felt disgusted, but you shook your head and said, I understand. Your mission was that you needed to continue being a hero, but were an undercover agent for the league. You didn't like this at first, but when you got to know the league more, they were really nice people, even Shigaraki, that was surprising for you. You were very good friends with Toga, and Twice was very nice also. Also, you have gotten very close to Dabi. It felt like a feeling you have never felt in a long time, like a family. Always being isolated of people, and never seen friends, nor family, wasn't something fun, and now having the league felt like comforting in a way. Even though they threatened you at first, now you were willingly doing everything they said, and even suggesting options. Over the weekends, you will go back to the league's base and informing every move of the Hero Society, and spend some time with each member. The person in the league which you must spend most time with was Dabi. Surprisingly, guys had gotten a pretty good friendship, and you were starting to catch feelings for the villain. I know, a cliche, enemies to lovers, but it was happening, and you couldn't contain yourself. When you thought about it for the first time, you thought to yourself, Yuan, you cannot be this stupid. He's a villain. He will never like you, even though he has kissed you 2 times, which made you blush. And now you are training with him. You guys were at a league's base in a little gym they had. You guys were fighting. You were using your time quirk to stop Davi's emotions and stop his flames. When he saw you stop his flames, he was surprised and said, Nice move, Juan. When did you learn to do that? You chuckled and said, I can't do that since high school. After a little hours of training, you were tired and looked at your phone and said, Oh shit, I need to go. Dabi was confused and said, But it's the weekend. You always spend the weekend here. You shook your head and said, No, I have a hero conference and I'm going with Hawks. He said it was important or something. Dabi's face went to calm, to angry. He said, Why the fuck are you going with that dumb bird to a gala? You shook and said, He's my friend, Dabi, and we're not going to a gala, it's just a hero conference. Dabi laughed and said, They're the same thing. Fancy drinks, fancy dresses, all the heroes always hitting on you. You were taken back by it. You were one of the most popular female heroes, obviously, but you were surprised Dabi was mad about that. You just responded with, Yeah, people flirt with me there, but I just ignore it. He shook his head and said, I don't want you to go, you're staying here and I don't care about that bird, he can stay there and go by himself. You said, okay, Dabi, they will think I'm something sketchy if I don't go. So I will go. You can control me. He took your wrist and pulled you closer to him and whispered in your ear, Yuan, you are not going and that's final. You pushed him away and said, okay, Dabi, I don't care what you say. I'm going, you like it or not. Then he grabbed your wrist one more time and pulled you in for a kiss. The kiss lasted about 3 whole minutes and you were in heaven. It felt amazing. And you were a little confused, but when he pulled away, he said, now, Yuan, you're not going, you're mine, and that's final. I don't care about what you say. You stopped him by kissing me again. He was taken back by this, but still kissed back. When you two pulled away once more, you said, I'm yours, you're mine, and that's final. He shook and said, that's right, but you're still not going to the hero conference with that Hawks guy, you're not going. You laughed and said, wow, you're so jealous right now. He pushed you away and said, I'm not jealous. Yes, you are, Dabi, admit it. I'm not, Yuan. Yes, you are. I'm not. You kissed him in the cheek and said, I like it when you're jealous. And if you weren't jealous, you wouldn't confess to me. He then blushed, the first time you saw Dabi blush, and said, I didn't confess. I just stated something. You laughed and said, that's confessing, Dabi, but don't worry, I love you. Dabi smiled and said, I love you too.